Hey, what's going on, man? Hola, amigo. ¿Cómo estás? Guten Tag, wie geht's dir? Welcome to another episode of Becoming a Better Tanker. This one's on Sand River Standard Battle, and I'm in my Nashorn. Now, in this particular video, I want to talk to you about how to retreat properly, and this is going to be a good video to show you how. Also, before I begin that, expect a review on the Nashorn Tier 6 German Tank Destroyer introduced in patch 8.9, coming out pretty soon. Now, moving on back to what I was going to talk about. When you retreat, I see a lot of people making mistakes in the game. Now, when you retreat, there's 4 things you got to keep in mind. The first thing, obviously, is you don't panic. The second thing is you don't turn your back to the enemy. You don't turn all the way around, do a 180 and start hightailing it out of there, if you can help it. Especially if you're a fixed turret TD. As you can see, I don't know if you haven't seen the Nashorn, if you're not familiar with it, it is a fixed turret tank destroyer. So that's especially true for this particular vehicle. The third rule is you retreat slowly and you keep shooting. Shoot obviously at the enemy, but it doesn't make a whole lot of difference if you hit them or not. You just want to try to scare them, maybe slow down their advance. If you hit them, great. If you don't, that's okay too. Just try to slow them down, scare them a little bit. This is where the mental part of World of Tanks really comes into play. The biggest thing you are afraid of when you're being forced to retreat is a fast-moving enemy. So by shooting, you try to slow them down. And the fourth thing is you pull back to cap. Or if, say, there is no cap in a counter battle or whatnot, you pull back to your teammates. Now put your hand out in front of you and open your hand. Well, start off with it closed. You got a nice little fist there. Now slowly open it and you can see your fingers moving out and so on and so forth. Now imagine each one of those fingertips of yours are a tank. That's how the game begins. It begins closed and together, and as everybody moves out to the different areas of the map, it's like your hand expanding or opening up. Now if you're retreating, you want to retreat back to the cap or retreat back to your teammates. So you want to basically reverse the process and slowly close your hand back up again. That's going to concentrate your fire. It's going to concentrate the tanks so that they can't just pick one tank out of a whole bunch and just shoot one, kill one tank, and move on to the next one. You're slowly concentrating. You're making a fist essentially with your hand on the map. Now you can see here in the south that we have lost this pretty big time. There was a quick push there by a ELC. We took care of him. But now the south has, let's see, you can see here on the map, so far 4 tanks, a heavy, 2 mediums, and a tank destroyer down there. And they wiped us out. There's one other, where is he? There's a Hellcat, and he just died. So now the south is almost completely wide open. Well, actually it is completely wide open. And what I'm trying to do right now is just trying to slow them down, take shots whenever I can. And if you notice, I am moving back, pulling back a little bit. I can't pull back to cap right now because I would just be essentially running right into them. So I come down off the hill and I'm using the surroundings, the terrain to my advantage to put that hill there so that these people right here, what you can currently see on the map, they can't get a shot at me because, whoops, because this hill's in the way. And I didn't notice that T-49 was there. That's my bad. And I'm pretty lucky he didn't come and shoot me. So you can see I keep my back to my teammates. I keep my front end towards the enemy, and I'm taking shots whenever I get the opportunity to. The other thing that I'm doing here is I'm careful and I'm watching the terrain. Now this thing in particular doesn't have a very good gun depression, so I have to move myself, and see that's what I'm doing right here. I'm getting underneath or in a little defilade in the ground right here in the sand to try to pull a little earth between me and the target that's shooting at me. Now you see I'm moving off to the side to try to get a more level terrain. If I come up right here, I'm gonna have to expose a lot more of my tank before I can get a shot at the enemy. If I come over to the left more, it's flatter ground, so I don't have to worry about getting up and over like a miniature hill and to be able to get my gun down to shoot the enemy. So now I'm using this KV-1S to my advantage Trying to help him out, take out the one shot I can make for sure. I'm watching an M4. Just an unlucky shot right there. I want to help my teammates out and kill the enemies that I can. So we effectively neutralize. And the other thing that's important is these other heavies that were in the north up here came back and helped out the cap. You cannot do this on your own. You know, you're gonna need some teamwork, but it wasn't a whole team effort there. You can see a couple guys didn't come back to cap immediately. They could have came over here or whatnot. This guy's out hunting for artillery. So again, there's 4 general concepts that I showed you in this video. First is you don't panic. I didn't just, when I was up on this hill up here, I didn't just take and just drive way out of there and run up all the way up to the hill up here at A0. The second is you don't turn your back to the enemy if you can help it. Again, sometimes some rushes they'll have 5-6 tanks all at one and you're the only one there. At that point in time, you just try to get out of there if you can. If you can't make it, that's just the luck of the draw in some games. Otherwise, you want to slowly back up like I did here. I took a few shots. I shot a couple of the targets over here on the ridge line, moved back a little bit as soon as I was too far forward and they could see me and shoot me easily with a nice big silhouette on top of this hill. I pulled down off the hill, and you especially don't want to turn your back on the enemy in a fixed turret TD. The third is you retreat slowly and you keep shooting. Again, showed you that, kept shooting. You don't worry about hitting them so much, just as long as you kind of slow them down and make them a little bit apprehensive. And the fourth and final is you pull back to the cap. Again, that's the hand. If you look over here at my cursor on the map, say, let's do it like this. You could imagine the beginning of the game, everybody starts on the cap. They move out into various positions, and it almost looks like a C. Now, say the northern half gets destroyed. Everybody starts pulling back towards the cap. It's the exact same thing that happened in this game. The bottom half of the C got destroyed. I start pulling back towards my teammates because the cap, if I would have sat on the cap, I would have died. And that's it. That's essentially it to retreating. Too many games I see you, not you in particular, but I see a lot of players, they'll start hollering for help and they just take off out of there and they're helpless. You know, you're at the mercy of the enemy, and as long as if they don't have any reason to slow down by anybody shooting at them, they're just going to rush you and you're going to die. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. Be sure to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And if you want to see more World of Tanks tips, be sure to subscribe for that reason in particular. Let me know what you think about this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one, man. Take care. Bye.